Welcome to another edition of the Goalpost, your front row seat to the biggest story in football, from chilling match breakdown to explosive transfer news, tactical masterclass, or missable insight. We cover it all with passion, precision, and a deep love for the game. Big moments, big goals, and even bigger debate. I'm your host, Oluwamayowa. I'm not alone. I'm usually there's always one suspect with me. It's always usually here. I'm here with the usual suspect. A whole lot of people call him Timmy, but some people call him Tima. But in any case, he's one of our renowned sport analysts. Timmy, good morning. How are you doing?
Yeah, good morning, Lagos, good morning, Nigeria, good morning to the studio. Uh, it's a very amazing week. Looking forward to an amazing weekend also. Champions League football, Europa League football. It's amazing. People qualified, City. It's just an amazing week of football, and we are ready to dive into it.
Well, it's always amazing, having you here. I mean, I know you probably wake up on the right side of the bed. Your team, Manchester United, ended up qualifying as one of the first eight in the Europa League. I mean, when a whole lot of people did not give them the chance to be able to do that, they came back and they surprised a whole lot of people. What's your take about the performance of Manchester United, owing to the fact that it was the two substitution that Ruben Amorim made that contributed to the two goals that was scored in the second half?
It was an amazing match. Steve Bruce didn't really put any fight. Uh, they, I think the only shot that I felt would have beaten uh, the United goalkeeper hit the post, and the bounce was offside, but he missed it anyway. But it was offside, and that was the only chance I felt the keeper could have gotten his hands to. They didn't really post any really threats, and United just kept calm, kept cool, and was taking it slow and steady. And the substitution, like you rightly said, came in and changed the dynamics of the game. Um, it's good to be. Man United is the only team to finish the league table unbeaten. Uh, yeah, we are unbeaten
Yeah,
in
that's
the
true.
all the 8 matches. I think the only team that is unbeaten in all of Europe in the Champions League and Europa League. I think.
Well, I mean, for all the stick that Manchester United is getting, I think they deserve all the accolade. I mean, they struggled in the first part of games, drawing games, and a lot of people counted them out, including myself. But I mean, it's a good one that they came back. But in any case, let's get into it. There was a whole lot of it was a packed week. We started out with the Champions League, 18 games, and we have the top teams qualifying. Manchester City, qualifying by the skin of their teeth. They were very dominant against um, a Club Brugge, and sometimes you get them before. Sometimes always counts. I mean, they showed a class of champion. But in any case, let's start with you know the English clash. I mean, Celtic versus Celtic versus Aston Villa. I mean, it ended up with Aston Villa winning. Celtic also ended up qualifying. However, you know, Aston Villa were able to get a berth, as one of the top eight. Aston Villa secured a 4-2 victory over Celtic, with both teams already qualified for the knockout stages. The win was crucial for Villa to improve their seeding in the upcoming draws. I mean, what do you make of that particular game?
It was an amazing game. Of course, Aston Villa. Everybody expect Aston Villa to win. They are playing at home. They did just that, leading 2-0. Celtic came back and they Aston Villa scored again. Rogers became player to score two goals in the first 5 or 6 minutes of a UEFA Champions League game. Brought back his Cole Palmer celebration. He did it first, and Cole Palmer made it popular. Uh, it was an amazing game, obviously. Um, Again, Villa showing that they could be up there with the big boys, and that's where they are. Uh, Celtic also qualifying. It's everybody just knows. It's just normal. Celtic are going to lose, and Villa are going to win. It's just a normal routine match that we all know that this is going to play out because Celtic cannot match up to the strength and the physicality of Aston Villa.
But in any case, I mean, the question has always been, there's a particular John Duran that, John Duran has been in the news. Yes, he's currently injured. He's not playing at the moment because of injury. Um, you know, there has been a whole lot of talk as regards him moving away because he feels he's not getting the enough playing time, owing to the fact that even when he comes in, he's always getting the goals. However, he has not been able to nail down a first team shirt. With John Duran, in the news, and there's a news of Watkins trying to move away from, Aston Villa. Arsenal is said to be interested in Ollie Watkins. Do you think Aston Villa have enough firepower to be able to do in the Champions League? And also, if I want to further to that, they've been struggling in the EPL. What do you think, is different about the Champions League that they can't get the same form back at home?
The Champions League, I think it's a different ball game. The EPL, you play these teams week in week out, so everybody try to figure everybody out easily in the EPL. But the Champions League is different. Uh, a Champions League, you could see Man City qualifying easily, but if it's in the EPL, it wouldn't be like that. Going a go down, it will be very hard because of course, they are playing each other week in week out, except it's Chelsea because Chelsea is a funny team. Um, in the case of John Durant, I feel he has moved to Anasa already. He has moved to Anasa already. Yeah, yes, of course, he
So
has moved to
he's
Anasa
there in the
already.
spirit, but he's not there physically, right?
He's then he just came to watch their game. He's already in Anasa. And again, Watkins to Arsenal. I don't know what Ateta is thinking again. Is thinking funny again. Watkins is 29. How can you and they are bidding 60 million for Watkins and he's being turned down? It's funny. Just
No,
being 40 and
but
keep
the question is
Rashford.
this: if you say he's 29, I mean, I will take you back to the last season of Alex Ferguson, where he won the EPL with a 32-year-old Van Persie, and a 30-year-old Van Persie came in and was very instrumental. Again, there's a particular Dimitar Berbatov that was around 2029 when he was signed to Manchester United and was very instrumental in delivering the title. Don't you think that's the motivating factor in terms of Ateta looking at a Watkins?
You can't compare the finished product of a Van Persie, a Dimitar Berbatov to Arsenal. To Oli Watkins, you can't compare. Oli Watkins is 29. The problem is they are bidding 60 million for him, and Aston Villa is turning it down. If you bring 40 or 50 for Marcus Rashford, Man United will sell. Rashford will get you the goals. So I just think it's not is that's still not doing business smartly for us now. Watkins again, amazing player, good player. If Arsenal have him in the front, Arsenal will push for the league, obviously. But 60 million for him, I think is okay. But if he's being turned down, then they should look elsewhere. There's a Man U that needs to get Rashford out as soon as possible. Can
Okay,
bring 40, 50 million for him, and Man U will sell. That's what I'm
okay,
saying.
okay. That's fantastic. Let's move over to the club that plays for the club that houses our own Victor Boniface. I mean, the move to Al-Nassr has broken down, but in any case, it was a fantastic victory for them in the Champions League. Bayern Leverkusen triumphed 2-0 against Sparta Prague, showcasing their dominance in the group stage. The victory solidified their position in the top of the group. And what do you make about that performance? I mean, earlier in their particular Champions League league phase, they were struggling, and a lot of people felt they wouldn't make it, and they ended up turning it around. And they didn't start the league, they didn't start the season on a very high note, drawing some games and also losing the Champions League.
They are back. They are playing well again. They are performing in the league. The point between them and Bayern is not so much again. I think I think it's around 5 points now. They drew and Bayern win. So it was 3 points before. I think it's around 5 points now. In the Champions League, they started winning again. Um, I don't know why Boniface is not starting for them. But of course, we know that they have another striker that is potent and competent. Um, Boniface moved to Real Nassau. I heard Nigeria made the move collapse because they kept calculating the boy's salary. They call billion, this one billion. Just let the boy play ball, I beg. So it was an amazing game for them. One easily dispatch their team. They are in the top eight, which is good for them. They have escaped the playoff of round, and let's see just what happens from here.
Okay, that's fantastic. Another one, there's a particular team in Germany that has also changed their coach. You know, a whole lot of people felt Nuri Sahin was not doing the job, and I mean, I myself supported the fact that they had to let a Nuri Sahin go because of how incompetent Dortmund has become. They were able to win their game, and they are part of those that will be battling for a place in the playoff. Yes, you might say it's against a Shakhtar Donetsk that had little or nothing to offer. However, a whole lot of their players showed up to be counted, and the new coach, is beginning to pull it, and a whole lot of people are beginning to talk about him in positive light.
Yeah, it is a former Bayern Munich coach. Amazing coach. I don't know. I think Bayern, Dortmund themselves, they keep shooting themselves in the foot. Selling players that shouldn't be sold. When you sell your best players, what is going to be left of the team? Fine, they signed some few, they signed Gurasi, but you keep selling. They sold Malin already.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
So when you keep selling your best players and your recruitment is not well, is not good enough, then what is going to happen? And of course, them getting an inexperienced coach in Nuri, of course, is going to add to the coming down of the team. But with this new coach now trying to steady the ship, let's just see how it goes. I know they won't really do anything much. Champions League they will be out if they qualify from the playoffs. They will be out in the next round and everything. Their season is done already. Obviously, they should just prepare for next season.
but the question is there a case to be made for club not bringing in legends, their legends to come and manage them? I mean, you've seen the case of you know, a particular Frank Lampard that came back to Chelsea. It was very disastrous.
It
Um,
wasn't
it,
disastrous.
I mean, Frank Lampard to Chelsea, it was
It wasn't.
disastrous.
It
I mean,
wasn't.
Frank Lampard.
It was not. It was not disastrous. It was not. Chelsea should be thanking Frank Lampard for their Champions League win.
I mean,
They should
before,
thank him because he
because
qualified them for the Champions League.
yeah, I know he
He
qualified for the
qualified them for the
Champions League.
Champions League the
Uh,
previous season.
Yeah,
If
however,
if,
his
if he hadn't
performance,
qualified them for the Champions League, if he hadn't qualified them from the Champions League, what would have happened? They wouldn't have won it.
but he came he came in mid season. It's not as if he started the season with them. That's number one. Number two, the following season was a disastrous season. Chelsea
Yeah,
were looking at the relegation battle before he was fired. So I mean, probably maybe that's the case for a whole lot of legends not taking up jobs at their former club because I mean sometimes the expectation is too much and they tend not to deliver.
and Ateta is doing well. He's an
Well,
Arsenal legend.
well,
He's doing well.
Ateta
Pep did well at Barcelona. Um,
Ateta has said that he won the competition and that's
yeah,
enough for
yeah,
the board.
yeah. He won the plates. That's
He won-
Arsenal are never a team that are serious. Arsenal, we all know. When the occasion is loudest, when the ovation is loudest, that's when they
they tend to fold, right?
that's when they fold, and that's what is going to happen again this season. They are telling him sign a striker. He's busy looking for Zubimendi. It's just funny. Of course, he's going for a striker now. At the end of the day, what everybody has been clamoring and telling you, but he wouldn't listen. Now he wants to go and get a striker. I hope it's not too late
Yeah, okay.
because the rest of the teams are not there sleeping. This season is done already. Let's not lie to each
Sure.
other. It's done already. Next season, do you think Man City will be looking?
No, definitely they will not. I mean, if you look
Uh,
at, I mean, in
the
January alone,
Liverpool
they've
that we are saying we win the league next season, Liverpool will come back, will come out strong again. United that is there, United too want to improve. Tottenham that is there. Obviously, Tottenham will sack their coach this season. At the end of this season, Tottenham too will try to get a new coach and try to do so. Everybody will be, and you have the opportunity to win the league this season. If you have had a striker, you could have been competing and with Liverpool and trying to win the league and trying to, but you didn't have a striker. You keep on believing in your midfield boys. No problem. Let's see where it gets you to.
well, in any case, let's move over to another interesting game. Barcelona Atlanta played out a draw. You know, Ademola Lookman was missing in that particular game. A whole lot of people, there were reports that Ansel Flick was very happy for the absence of and Ademola Lookman, and it actually played out. I mean, in that particular game, they ended up drawing, and the draw has kept out, a, an Atlanta team from
The topic.
the the top eight. I mean, pushing them into the playoff. I mean, a whole lot of people felt they had it covered, but that did not happen. Barcelona and Atlanta played out a thrilling 2-2 draw with both teams showcasing their offensive capability. The draw had implications for the group standing. I mean, it's very obvious. Barcelona had already qualified. They just wanted to, cement their second place in that particular on the log. However, for Atlanta, they have dropped out of the
Of the
first
top.
stage, pushing them into the playoffs. Do you think Ademola Lookman missing in that particular game contributed to the outcome of this particular game?
Of course. Ademola Lookman is an integral part of the team. A starter with his magic feet and the way he plays, mesmerizing, so amazing. Um, for me, uh, again, I've always said injuries is not a is not uh should not be blamed for a team's misfortune or how they play. But in this case, you could see that these are like the most informed player in the team. So you can say a little bit of injury, but again, they still played well. They did their part. Drawing 2-2 against Barcelona is not easy at home. They played very well. Uh, it's just a shame that they couldn't secure the top eight spot, but they have gone to the playoffs, and a whole lot of teams will try to avoid Atlanta in the playoffs.
But the thing is with them getting to the playoff, do you think um, that's going to put them in an awkward situation, owing to the fact that remember a whole lot of the top teams in the playoff normally they're not supposed to be in the playoff. You have the likes of Madrid, you like the likes of Man City in the playoff,
Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich in the playoff, and the rest of that. So I mean, does that not put them in a tight corner in terms of what they want to achieve in the Champions League? I mean,
No,
if you are finished in the first stage, you probably some of these top teams they get to meet each other and knock each other off, and that gives you the opportunity to be able to get a free ride to I mean the next phase
it,
of the
it,
of the
it,
Champions
it
League.
does not. It does not necessarily mean, yeah, the way the playoff phase and the round of 16 phase, the way everything is being created is just is a bit unique. Uh, um, Madrid and Bayern are going to play either City or Celtic. So Atlanta is not playing any of them. I don't know who is around Atlanta's brackets, but I know Atlanta is not playing any of the big boys there. So it's good for them. So they will definitely win one of their playoff match. I think the draws will be done today.
Yes.
They will definitely win their playoff and then move on to play with with something. I don't know. I've forgotten now, but they'll move on. But I know they are not playing any of the big three, so it's good.
Okay, and that's fantastic. I mean, Bayern Munich saved their own blushes. They were able to beat a Slovan Bratislava. I mean, Slovan has been the whipping boys of the Champions League. I think they ended up with 0 points, if I'm not mistaken. And you know, a Bayern Munich, they were able to dispatch them, to get what they wanted. I mean, a whole lot of people, they were already there's already knife out to probably, you know, there has been talks about firing Vincent Company because of the kind of quality he has. He doesn't have enough capability to be able to oversee the Bayern Munich team to get them to the level that they want. Bayern Munich dominated Braslavia with a 3-1 victory, reinforcing their reputation as a formidable force in European football. I mean, in that particular game, I watched that particular game. Yes, they were very dominant, but gone are the days where you see a Bayern Munich dispatching team 7-1, 8-0. I think under Vincent Company, I don't think we'll be able to see that era again.
For me, what was Bayern thinking? Getting a decent company to be their coach. What were they thinking? Someone that brought in Burnley to the Premier League and relegated Burnley back to the Championship, and you are bringing him in to be with this arrays of stars you have packed together at Bayern. Of course, it's too the job is too overwhelming for him. He can't handle it, and it's showing on the field. Um, it- it- they should be winning that game nothing less than 7-1, 7-0. The Bayern we know that's how Bayern plays. But this one new first half, second half, the second goal, I think they scored around 60 something, and the third goal they scored around 80 something, and 3-0. Then they scored one back. Imagine, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. I hope they really want. I hope they win the league. I hope they win the league for the sake of Hurricane. I really want him to win a trophy because if he doesn't win a trophy this season again, na course.
Well, do you think the reason why they are struggling with their performance? Yes, they are doing well in the league. If not for the fact that Bayern Leverkusen, you know, began to draw games that they were not supposed to draw. They started dropping points with drawing games. Do you think they would have gotten that edge over Bayern Leverkusen in the Bundesliga?
No, they won't have. Bayern Leverkusen dropped some points they shouldn't have dropped, and that's the reason why Bayern Munich is where they are. Bayern Munich themselves, they are not really performing. They are not firing in the cylinders. If Leverkusen was to have been a bit of form they were last season, it would have been a different ball game.
That's fantastic. Well, let's move over to the Italian Serie A. Inter Milan winning 3-0, beating a Monaco, defeating a Monaco. I mean, Inter Milan, they've been very, I mean, their performance in the Champions League is been neither here nor there. Sometimes you expect them to give you a certain particular result and they end up, giving another kind of result. However, they've been able to make it to the next round. They are doing well in the league and they're also in the next round of the Champions League. Yes, they are going to be playing playoff and the rest of that. However, they were able to dispatch.
They're
No,
not,
sorry, they
they're
are part of the first stage rather.
not
I
of-
mean, they are avoiding the playoff stage. They are part of the first stage, finishing with I think 16 of no 15 points rather, finishing with 15 points and putting them ahead of a whole lot of other teams. I mean, do you think this performance is an indication, is a reflection of what they are doing in the league presently? At the moment, Napoli is ahead of them in the league in terms of for the title. However, they are still in the conversation of the title, and the performance seems to be improving under their coach.
Napoli is ahead of them because they have one game in hand.
But that's true.
They
That's
have
true.
one game in hand. That's why Napoli is ahead of them. If they play their game in hand, there will be same points with Napoli. In Champions League, I don't know why you said they have not been performing well in the Champions League. For a team that just considered only one goal throughout the league phase, he considered just one goal throughout the league phase.
Yeah,
He considered one goal throughout the league phase.
yeah, they consider the goal, but I mean, there were some games that they drew that you don't expect them to draw, and that was the reason why I mean a Liverpool finished with 21 points, a Barcelona finished with 19 points, Arsenal finished also with 19 points without losing any game. But for in the case of Inter Milan, there were some games that you would have expected them, to probably do well more than what they did, and they didn't do that. I mean,
And these
in,
teams you've called, these teams you've called that finished above them, how many of them can confidently say we beat Inter?
well,
Of course,
well,
they beat Arsenal. They beat Arsenal with their
yeah, that's true.
whole corner and everything. They beat Arsenal.
Well, that's true.
They beat
That's true.
Arsenal at home.
That's true. I mean,
So
Arsenal
Inter
lost
Milan
at
for me,
home.
Inter Milan has played a fantastic game. Of course, you don't expect them to win every match. Fine, they do some matches. That's how a team that wants to win the Champions League plays. When the Chiefs are down, then try to take it by the horn, and you could see the last day they needed the win. Lautaro Martinez came up with an hat-trick and they won. Madrid, these are things that you see. All these what's it called? Liverpool and the rest, fine. They are playing, they are firing nostrils, flying and all that. When it gets to the knockout rounds, you see, it's a different ball game.
Do you think? I mean, Lautaro Martinez has been in form. When you were talking about Ballon d'Or last season, it was excluded from that conversation. A whole lot of people, have been saying, why would a Lautaro Martinez not be part of the Ballon d'Or conversation? However, this particular season, he has started again. I mean, he is one of the top goal scorers in the Serie A, and he's also doing his magic in the Champions League. I mean, the game against Monaco, he was able to score an hat-trick. Do you think with this performance, and probably should Inter end up winning the league, and probably maybe they get to do in the Champions League, even probably maybe win the Champions League, do you think it probably be in the conversation to be able to win the Ballon d'Or, owing to the fact that a lot of people are already giving the Ballon d'Or to some key players in Madrid and some players in Barcelona, and also to a particular Mo Salah in the EPL?
Uh, yeah, it will have a Ballon d'Or shout if, uh, thank God, there is no international trophy. There's no international games this year because if a certain Lionel Messi does nothing the whole season and goes to an international trophy, international competition, score 2 goals and 1 assist, then it will be in the Ballon d'Or shout. That was what happened last season. Messi was in the Ballon d'Or shout. Lautaro Martinez was not. Messi scored 1 goal in the whole tournament. Lautaro Martinez practically won the Copa America for Argentina. It wasn't in the Ballon d'Or shout. It was because Messi actually took his place, and that's what happened. Um, right now, yes, he's playing well, but he's not better than some certain players right now, and we have to tell each other the truth. As much as he's on the big form, I don't even think he's the best player in the Serie A right now. Ademola Lookman is better, and we have to be realistic.
Okay, that
Impact, big game, impact wise, everything. Ademola Lookman is firing us in that performance. When he's not scoring, he's assisting. For a winger, is amazing. Um, Again, he's not better than Mo Salah this season, Mbappe this season, Vini this season, Bellingham this season, Bellingham important, Bellingham, Rafinha, Jamal, Lewandowski. There are a whole lot of players to choose from. A whole lot.
okay, and that
But again,
factors in.
a Ballon d'Or is not won in January; it's won at the end of the season.
Well, that's very true. Let's move over to the Man City game. They will probably close out with Liverpool. We'll probably close out the Champions League talk with the Liverpool game. They'll probably move to the Europa League. I mean, talking about your team in particular. But in any case, let's go to the Man City game. As at the end of the first half, Man City were out of the Champions League. Um, Club Brugge, uh, they were leading Man City, and a lot of people felt that might be the end for Guardiola. And this is somebody that in the last 4 games he's been able to score more than 12 goals and conceding, I think, about three. And probably that might be signs that they are back. Man City secured a 3-1 win against Club Brugge, reinforcing their status as one of the tournament favourites. Do you think with this particular result, yet as at the end of first half, Club Brugge were leading, and a lot of people felt that might be the end because of Club Brugge has the knack of defending, and they have a way of stunning big clubs. But Man City came back with a chilling performance in the second half, and they ended up scoring 3 goals to win that particular game. I mean,
Um,
is it because that they have signed new players? I mean, we saw Omar Mamouche and Kusanov, had their debut in the EPL, and it was not a good debut for Kusanov. However, I think the game in the Champions League, they were able to get the result that they needed.
but their new signings did not partake in the Champions League. They
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
play.
I know.
For me, Man City is not back. It's normal they will win. I know they will win. My money actually wanted Man City to win. My money wanted Man City to win. But my head, I want them to lose so that we can banter. But obviously, um, they were too much of a firepower for Club Brugge. Club Brugge tried. They played well in the first half, and Man City made some changes. I've always said, why are you signing Omar Mamouche and all these guys? Just go. You said you need a DM. A DM is the problem. That's why you are losing. Get a DM and get a right back. That's the problem Man City is having. Martin Nunes is not a right back. The goal of Club Brugge, he was beaten too easily. Beat him square play, and Onyeka, the Nigerian, was a goal. Man City are not back. The only way we will know if Man City is truly back is this weekend when they play Arsenal. I think they are playing Arsenal this weekend. That's when we will know if they are truly back. If they
Uh,
go
well,
to,
but the
if they
question
go
is
into
this.
that match and lose, then they are not back.
I mean, I'm very proud of Rafael Onyedika. He gave a good account of himself. And before that particular game, Pep Guardiola was worried about him. With his performance, is that a sign that they are he probably make the move from Club Brugge this season after the end of the season to another bigger club in Europe? I mean, his performance in the Champions League has been very, very exceptional. The period that he was out injured, Club Brugge struggled in the Champions League.
He got a red card.
Yes.
He got a red card. I think their first or second match. The 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 brother has been performing so amazingly well. Obviously, at the end of the season, he's going to leave. He's going to go to a bigger club. Um, he's so energetic, going up and down, never get a foot wrong, and he's just been so amazing. I just feel a bigger club can come for him where he can showcase his talents more, and the world can see the kind of man and the kind of bright future he has.
Okay. So let's close it out with the Liverpool game. Liverpool they've been very fantastic. The only team with 100% record in the Champions League. However, for some particular reason, and the slot did not want that record to stand. He decided to change his team and probably rest them for a game against a Bournemouth over the weekend. I still don't understand it, but in any case, he has his reason for that. PSG ended Liverpool's perfect Champions League record with a 3-2 victory, a match that was both thrilling and decisive. I mean, what do you make of that particular game?
Now, sorry. Can you beat your chest that Liverpool are going to beat Bournemouth in the weekend?
Well, you can't say. I mean,
Exactly.
Raiola has been very fantastic. He has
He
been
has been extremely fantastic.
is
So
the giant killer. I mean,
He has been beating big teams for fun.
he's been beating big
The
teams.
Nottingham Forest that is running riot on everybody, cash out beat am 5-0. So Bournemouth is not someone that you can just say a Bournemouth. No. So it's good. I like what Sloss did. He has already qualified. Why does he need to bring all his team and everybody and try to kill PSV and all? No, 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 no. He has already qualified. He does not really need to do that. I like the way he rotates his team, rest his boys. They will be very, very fresh against Bournemouth this weekend. So the same way Bournemouth guys are fresh, Liverpool guys are fresh. So there's no we played during the week, and that's the reason why we drop point against Bournemouth. They don't need to drop points now. If they can scale through these tough, small oppositions, Bournemouth, all these guys, then they can. they can lay claim to the title. It's still a long way to go. We are still in January. The title is not won now. This is the critical part of the season where he needs to gather points. And it's normal. I like what he did. Resting players in the Champions League is a good thing.
I mean, well, it's a good one that is doing that. But a whole lot of people would have expected him to probably, try and win that particular game since, he's the only person with the 100% record in the Champions League. And,
He
you
tried
know,
now.
you-
He tried. They were leading at some point, and PSV came back. It's just normal. It's football. The record is not really does not really matter. Okay, if he's trying to save the record and then he plays all these guys and a Mo Salah got a knock and we know be playing in the Bournemouth game, would that have been would that not be a big problem? Or a Van Dijk, something happened to his back and he will be out for 3 weeks in
well,
a
that
game